let's head to the hockey world now. And good news and bad news for the Oilers. Good news, Oilers fans. I don't think your team's going to blow this. Despite injury issues and a bit of inconsistent play lately, I don't think your team is going to blow this playoff spot. The bad news is the reason for that is more what other teams are doing wrong and not necessarily what your team's doing right. Let me explain. So yes, the Edmonton Oilers have had many an injury issue and consistency issue and talent issue, but I'm here to tell you, Oilers fans, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Not because of anything you're doing. I think they're going to run out of runway to blow this thing. You look at they got a huge win against the San Jose Sharks the night that Leon Draisaitl was announced that he was going to be out for the regular season. That was a monster win. If that one doesn't happen, then we are having really different conversations around this hockey team. But the good news for Edmonton is that everyone behind them also stumbled this weekend. And you look at the standings right now, and Edmonton still it's not comfortable, but it really does feel like just that one win against the Sharks is going to be enough to keep everyone off of them and keep them in the playoffs. So yes, huge break on the out-of-town scoreboard over the weekend. But the fact is, this team just isn't good enough right now. It does feel like it's McDavid against everybody. And they had a couple of moments against the Lightning, a couple of fun rush chances and all of that, but they lose 4-2, and one of the goals was put into Tampa Bay's own net by their own team. This isn't like insane breaking news or anything like that, but this team outside of McDavid just isn't good enough. And this is why the depth thing can really be a problem. No, most teams in the league could not sustain losing their second best player and be able to push like this. But you look at the injury issues that almost anyone else in the league has had. Last night, Tampa Bay, Hedman has had some major problems this season. Point missed a substantial amount of time to the point that he couldn't even make the Olympic team. That they have been banged up. You look in the West, Colorado, relatively healthy, but Landeskog's been out for a little bit. Dallas has been missing Rantanen for a while. A lot of these teams have had injury issues, and they were in a much better spot than Edmonton is right now. And so this is example 10 billion of where the mismanagement around the bottom part of this roster has really come back to bite this team as they got whooped on by the teams coming through from Florida. So just not good enough right now for the Edmonton Oilers, but I just don't think that there's enough time for the other teams in the Pacific to really make them pay for it. The other part of that game is we should not be sleeping on the Lightning. And I do think that happens this time of year. We get so focused on the playoff battles, right? Where the teams that are just trying to squeak in, they get a little bit more of our attention. And then we're trying to find the dark horses, right? And that's why on radio in Calgary, I was talking about, hey, Montreal could be a cup team. And people are talking about how high can Buffalo get? And well, Carolina, I mean, you never know. Maybe this could be the year. And I feel like we're kind of taking how good Tampa Bay is for granted. And we are looking at this team and like, okay, well, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, we know they're good. We'll talk about them later. It's almost boring. This is a championship level hockey team. And I think you see that on full display against the Oilers. When you have a top line that is working as hard as guys like Hagel and Point and Kucherov, and all of those guys. Cirelli had a phenomenal game against Edmonton on Saturday night. And then Vasilevsky, he, not the toughest test at times, but there were some very good chances that Edmonton got. And Vasilevsky shut the door every time. Getting Hedman back, looking at this team, it's so well-rounded. They know how to compete. They know how to win championships, and they're showing it now. So this is just your reminder that this time of year we can focus on a lot of different things, and we can start to try to not just go with the sexy pick for winning a conference or winning a championship. Let's not forget how good this Tampa Bay Lightning team can be. And then the unfortunate news from the weekend is another issue with NHL player safety. And on this channel, haven't been able to talk about the Gudis, Austin Matthews thing all that much. Talked about it quite a bit on the radio in Calgary. But this AJ Greer one is inexcusable. Like the Gudis one was basically inexcusable. There's like 1% that you can talk yourself into. He hasn't really had a suspendable act in the NHL in a while, and the game moves fast, this, that, and the other thing. There's like 1% that you can do plausible deniability. I don't think you should, but there's like 1% of that you can. There is not one explanation for AJ Greer to do that to Connor Zary that makes that not a malicious, dirty, awful hit. Like, unless it's like, well, Zary told me before the game, because, former teammates, Zary told me that he's having trouble fitting on airplane, so I decided to just make him shorter a little bit. That's it. It was right into the numbers, far away from the boards. It was so obvious of how dangerous that hit was. And now to only get 3 is inexcusable. I can't stand this at all. And like, it's such you don't want to think this way. You shouldn't think this way, but it's such an easy guy to make an example of, right? Like, he's a fourth line plug on a team that's not going anywhere this season. So throw the book at him. And at least when people are criticizing you again at some point, at least you can say, well, look, we really came down on that guy because we believe in player safety. They didn't even do that. They just bailed out AJ Greer for no good reason. And so, honestly, because this is getting a lot of the conversation, honestly, at this point, I hope it's corruption, because this level of ineptitude, this level of incompetence is shocking and startling and incredibly concerning. At least, like, briberies or in cahoots or whatever, I can fix that. This is a level of stupid I can't fix. So I hope that there is some kind of conspiracy going on, because the other alternative is just that they suck this bad at this, and that's probably a bigger problem. It's bad. It's bad. And the scary thing is, it feels like now someone's going to need to get very hurt before this gets taken seriously. Because remember, when concussions were starting to be talked about a little bit more, and we were starting to understand that hits to the head equals not good. All right, we're cracking down on the blindside hits and the this and that, and we knew the name of the rule. I've forgotten it now, but we knew the name of all of that, and that we knew, okay, well, that's definitely a suspension. It is almost like, because there isn't that focus on one issue in player safety right now, that they're just like, yeah, there's nothing we really need to focus on, so nothing's really a problem. And it's not going to be taken seriously until someone gets really, really hurt. And that is a scary thought for players and for fans alike. It's so frustrating. And we've had 2 of the clearest examples of incompetence at this level in a really long time. So what do you guys think? Am I overreacting to this or the Gudis one? Let me know in the comments. Share your thoughts on how long you think AJ Greer should have been suspended for, and we can have a fun debate down in the comments there. And don't forget, hit that share button and share this with your hockey fan friends so we can keep the conversation going and grow the channel just a little bit more.